Dear siblings in Christ, in this critical moment, I come to you not as a politician, but as a person of faith, one who believes deeply in the moral courage of the United Church of Christ. Today, I urge you to adopt the resolution that names what's happening in Gaza for what it truly is, genocide, and to acknowledge the role of U.S. complicity in enabling it. This is not a reckless accusation. It is a call grounded in international law, lived reality, and our sacred values. In January of this year, the International Court of Justice found it plausible that Israel is committing acts of genocide in Gaza. The court ordered Israel to prevent genocidal acts and ensure humanitarian aid flows to civilians. Just weeks later, the International Criminal Court issued arrest warrants for Prime Minister Netanyahu and Defense Minister Gallant for war crimes and crimes against humanity, including the use of starvation as a weapon of war. And in March this year, Nicaragua brought a case against Germany for aiding and abetting genocide, establishing that nations providing weapons and diplomatic cover may share legal responsibility. Friends, the U.S. is not a bystander. It is an active participant. It is a funder. It is a supplier. It is a shield at the United Nations and other international forums. As people of faith, we are called to do justice, love kindness, and walk humbly with God. The United Church of Christ has a proud tradition of prophetic witness, from denouncing South African apartheid to defending indigenous rights. Naming genocide is not about taking sides. It is about siding with the truth and with life, with the God of justice. To stay silent now is to betray our commitment to the oppressed and to ignore the cry of innocent. I know this resolution may feel uncomfortable to some, but comfort has never been our goal. Faithfulness is. Adopting this resolution is not the end of a conversation. It is the beginning of a movement. It is a call to every congregation, every member, every pulpit to pray, to speak, and to act. In this time, let us be a church that does not flinch, a church that names evil when we see it, even when it costs us a lot, because nothing short of lives and our moral integrity is at stake. Let us receive this resolution as a sacred call to advocacy, to courage, to compassion. Let us together issue the path of justice for Gaza, for the children, and for our collective soul. And thank you.
My name is Jonathan Kutab. I am the Executive Director of FASNA, Friends of Sabil. I'm also an international lawyer and human rights activist. Genocide is a clearly defined legal term under international law. There is no question that what is happening in Gaza today constitutes a genocide. Genocide scholars, including Israeli genocide scholars, have all agreed that this forms a genocide. In fact, we can't find any genocide scholar who rejects this designation. The problem is that people do not want to call it genocide, not because they are not convinced that it fits the definition, but because they don't want to deal with the consequences of the fact that a genocide is being committed today in broad daylight with the knowledge of the whole world and they are not doing anything about it. It is the moral consequences of designating genocide that people are worried about, reluctant to deal with. So for a Christian denomination to refuse or to hesitate or to quibble about whether we can call it a genocide is not a legal question. It's a moral question. Are we willing to deal with the consequences that genocide is taking place in our name? Our country is complicit in it, and we as a church and as a denomination are not living up to our responsibilities. The church today still is feeling the guilt and the shame of having done nothing or not enough during the Holocaust of the Jews in Germany. The Holocaust took place in the dark. This genocide is taking place in the light of day, and it's up to us to do something about it. Thank you.
I'm Rabbi Brian Walt, and I am delighted and honored to add my voice as a rabbi in support of the UCC resolution for an end to genocide in Palestine. There are several powerful Jewish organizations and many Jews who may see you and my support for equal rights for Palestinians as an act of anti-Semitism. I urge you not to surrender to this malicious attempt to silence us that is based on a denial of the suffering of the Palestinian people in the Nakba on which the state of Israel was created, in the more than 50-year brutal occupation of the West Bank, and repeated assaults mowing the lawn in Gaza, in the apartheid in Israel that privileges Jewish lives over the lives of non-Jews, and now in the shocking reality of a genocide that Israel, the Jewish state, is engaging in, with the US fully complicit. For all Jews, for all Christians, and for all Muslims, our roots lie in the story in Genesis, when God chooses Abram as the father of the Jewish people. The text tells us that God is facing the evil committed by the people of Sodom and Gomorrah. God says, "Shall I hide from Abram what I'm about to do? For I have singled him out to keep the way of the divine by doing what is just and right." It is that call to do what is just and right, to protect those who suffer at the hands of the more powerful, that is at the heart of Judaism, and I would argue also at the heart of Christianity and at the heart of Islam. All three traditions place the sanctity of all human life at the center of our faiths. All people are created in the image of God and deserve compassion, justice, and love. There is a very large and growing number of Jews, including many rabbis, and also many younger and older Jews, who have been utterly shocked by the cruelty of the Israeli actions in Gaza. The Jewish people, as a people, are wrestling with an important moral divide in our community. And as one rabbi of the over 300 rabbis in Rabbis for Ceasefire, and one of the rabbis on the rabbinic cabinet of the Jewish Voice for Peace, I urge you all to vote for this resolution that upholds the most basic belief of our faiths, that all people are created in the image of God and entitled to justice, freedom, and dignity. Let us act bravely and with integrity to make this a reality.